So now we look at the different contradictions and complexities of the social welfare policy. The first issue is reality. What exists. So there are people who think that angels and demons exist, and there are people who don't think they exist. And then there's how do we know knowledge? How do we understand knowledge? So we understand knowledge through our senses, but are there other ways to understand knowledge? For example, intuition or wahi. So all these things have to be answered while looking at or making the social welfare policy. Then there is the context and culture. So every country, and even within countries, there are different types of cultures. Like in Pakistan, there are at least four different cultures. So we have to make our policies that are linked with the context and culture. So we cannot, for example, policy which is made for urban areas in Punjab will not succeed in Balochistan. A policy made for Karachi will not succeed in interior Sindh. So all these things we have to consider. Then, of course, the role of religion in Pakistan is very important. And then, of course, in religion also we have different. So for example, we are in social welfare policy, we talk of poverty alleviation or poverty reduction. But is poverty bad? There are many hadiths which argue that poverty is good. For example, that the rich man will reach heaven 500 years or 1,000 years later than the poor man. So poor man will enter heaven much earlier than the rich man. So if the poverty is good, should we work to reduce poverty under our social welfare policy? Then there is this, of course, Riyasat-e-Medina or Islamic culture. We talk about it in our social welfare policies. Not today. If you look at, and we will in the next modules, we will look at different social welfare policies starting from the 1950s. And Pakistani decision makers have also always talked about an Islamic welfare policy, an Islamic concept of governance, or Islamic public administration, or Islamic social welfare. But then, of course, the question is, which model do you want to implement? So there is the Holy Prophet model at the time of Holy Prophet, may peace be upon him. Then Hazrat Abu Bakr's model, which is only 2 years. Then Hazrat Umar, which is completely different, because then under Hazrat Umar there was a whole empire. So the administration at the time of Holy Prophet, may peace be upon him, was quite different than what was under Hazrat Umar. So the responsibilities, the regulations, all those things were different. And then again, whether under the Hazrat Umar, which is seen by most Muslims as a very successful model, did it provide health? Did it provide education? We know that it was only a minimal level of health and education provided under those administrations. So when we talk about social welfare and following them, do we reject the health and education policies or responsibility of health and education of government? So all these things we have to discuss. Then, of course, if we look at the current models adopted by the West, there is the capitalist model, which is based on private sector doing all the things and only minimal things remaining for the government sector. Communist model, which everything goes to with the government. And then there is the socialist, Western European socialist model, which is half and half. So there are contradictions within these models. For example, is housing part of social policy? Is higher education part of social policy or a luxury? Should we support marriage of girls as part of social policy? So we are trying to reduce population. So should we support marriage of girls? Is religious education part of social policy? Should elderly be ignored till the government deals with the young? Young are more important. So should we spend money on the elderly while we have people who are young, who need education, who need health? So all these things we have to consider, and these are the complexities and contradictions in the health policy. in the social welfare policy. Thank you.